moved my camera and I'm filming somewhere I don't normally film. Normally just film at my craft desk. So I apologise for glare. There's glare and there's all sorts, but I'm just going to do a quick video for those people who are scared to start getting jelly printing, and just going to jump in, run off a few really quick prints, and then I'll come back at the end and show you what the result is. Now I've just got a bunch of things that most people can find around the house, some cut out shapes. That's just cardboard. You can cut those out yourself. You can print the shapes and cut them, or however you wish to do them. And I'll just tell you what I'm using when I use it, just to show you. Doesn't matter what's right. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's no whatever. If you like your print, awesome. If you don't like your print, you can print over it. If you don't want to print over it, you can use it to cut out shapes, and it's amazing how awesome shapes look when they're cut out of a jelly print with a few different colours on them. Just looks really cool. So I've just got scrap paper that's been printed out of my printer, so it's just ordinary copy paper, and I may print on one side, I may print on the blank side. I don't know yet. We'll see where we go. So here we go. Literally the first thing I'm going to do, and I've made my own jelly plate, so I'll just yabber on while I'm doing stuff. And these are cheap plates. The majority of these I'm using are just the $1 plates from Aldi, which are very cheap and easy to get hold of. So when you're first starting and you're just playing around, don't use expensive paints, just use your cheap paints. That's all you need. Whack some paint on. I do use a brayer, and that is expensive, but brayers will last you a lifetime, especially if you look after them. And when you're doing jelly printing, use whatever brayer you've got. If you don't have a brayer, you can actually just use a big paintbrush to spread the paint on. You won't get quite as you get brush strokes in it, but that might just add to the texture. Could be really nice. And then I'm just rolling that off onto book page, and then I can use the book page later as well. So I'm just going to use the copy side, just press it down nice and tight. It's quite hot here today, so this paint's going to dry really fast, and this is a quick way to get a nice background print. And then I'm just going to throw these out on the table around me. Now this jelly plate is one that I've used, so it sorry, not I used, it's one I made myself. So this is the side that's got lots of texture in it because I've gouged bits out of it and done stuff with it as I've been using it. The other side is flatter, but it is getting to the point where I really need to melt it down. You can melt it down, filter out all the crappy bits and start again, which I've also got enough stuff to make another one, so I want to make one a bit bigger. So just going to follow one of the YouTube videos and melt this one down, fix it up, and then get a oh, my words are escaping me this morning. Melt it down, fix it up. Let's go with half blue, half purple. I'm just going to put these cardboard stars on here, and I have all different sizes here. I'm just going to use them in random, just throw them on here, random places. There's heaps of jelly print videos you can watch, and I'm just going to use this side of the paper to go over this. Now my paper that I've cut out is A5, which is a bit smaller than my plate, so I'm just going to go over this twice and pick up the excess paint around the stars. Not in any way, shape or form. You can see that's the start of another one, and because it's been printed I'll use dark colours on that. Then I can pull up these stars. You can reuse these stars as much as you want, and then look, you've got a great painted star to use in your collages or on cards, on scrapbooking, in journals, junk journals, whatever you want to do with them. You can keep reusing them if you want to, if you don't like what's on there. If you love them, leave them alone. Just cut out heaps of shapes if you want to save your shapes so you've got more to use again next time. Now, with jelly printing, you can put it on wet and peel it off straight away. You can peel it on and let it dry and then put a wet layer on top and peel both off. That way you get layered prints. But I'm just being really simple today, so I'm just going to put a little bit of white on top of that. That's still a bit wet. I think when you're learning, just go for it. If you don't like paint on your fingers when you're jelly printing, use gloves, because look, I make a mess. I'm very good at making a mess. The other thing with jelly prints is whatever's on the bottom is going to be on the top when you pull your paper up. So you have to work backwards if you're trying to do something fancy, but we're not doing fancy today. We're just going for it. We're just going for it. And then you can always reprint over whatever you've printed to get lots of different textures, etc. I just throw these out on my table. One of the cool things with jelly prints is because you're only getting really a thin layer of paint, they do actually dry quite fast. Now you can see I'm just layering more and more bits here. I think it just adds texture. Be careful with your paints, don't use colours that are going to end up with a muddy mess, so you know, stuff that goes brown. So I have some netting here which is doubled over. I haven't got my scissors close, so I'm just going to use that. I'm going to press it down with the paper and that will get a bit of a print. I just want to press it down really well. Again, my paper's a bit short, so I'm just going to go over it. I'm just showing you, you can just be messy, do whatever you want. You will get prints that you can use, and if you don't like them, like I said, if you don't like how they are, pull this mesh up. Then there's a mesh pattern left in the paint. If you don't like how they come out, just cut shapes or print over the top. No mistakes. No such thing as a mistake with jelly printing. If you're a perfectionist, you probably have to do a lot of practice before you get perfection, because you won't get perfection with a jelly print. And you can use jelly printing for so many cool things. Oh, I love that. Look at that. How cool is that? Awesome. Awesome. I will show you all these when I'm finished, so you can see what they look like when they're dried. Like getting different colours and making like the ombre effect, sort of layered colour effect, whatever you want to call it. So this way I'm going to just make some rows. So we'll start with the white, we'll go into the blue. Before I go into the pink, I'm just going to roll some of that blue off because that's really strong colour. Look at this beautiful book page I've got to use now. I'm just tear that off, let that dry as well. And once your prints are dry, you can add more layers to them. Stencils are great, but I thought today I'm just going to use stuff that you can find around the house. So anybody, I think probably cost about $15 in Australia for the stuff I needed to make my jelly plate. So it's a lot cheaper to make your own. They're not as good as the bought ones, but hey, I love what I get out of this. I think it's awesome. Bubble wrap. Bubble wrap. Oh, no. Yes, bubble wrap's not cut. Let's see if I can tear this. Yes, I can. Make it open. Bubble wrap. Bubble side down. Then when you finish with your bubble wrap, you've also got some cool painted bubble wrap. I'm going to use that for decoration on the front of a cover or somewhere. Look at that. How cool is that? Probably can't see that very well on the camera. And my paint has dried too fast, so it hasn't actually left much texture in there. So I'm going to go over it with white. Going to go over it with white. If you're on a hot day, you've got to work fast. That's just clearing that up a little bit. Always put your bray upside down. Just gonna this piece of plastic has come out of it's the base of a meat tray. So when I cooked the meat, pulled it apart, and there we go. Cool. Pulled it apart and then cut the bottom part off. Had all those beautiful hexagons on it. Absolutely love it. I think that's awesome. Push this down. So I'm trying to work fast. There we go. Those circles are from the texture that's in that plate at the moment because of stuff that I've left on there. So I'm working with colours that work together. So it doesn't really matter if they mix, because they're just going to turn into a different version of that colour. Pink, purple and blue. Pink and blue makes a version of purple. So it works well together. You don't have to clean off your plate in between. If you're going for something certain, you'll want to clean your plate off in between. But we're just playing. We're just having fun. That's quite a wet layer. So what are we going to do? We might peel some off first. These ones that you just put a straight colour on. Look at that. That's cool. Oh, there. Cool. Sometimes I do just a flat colour and then put the then do a pattern layer over the top of that. So you're doing oh crikey, that went well, didn't it? Then you're doing 2 layers on the same thing. That paint's still wet, so this should all mix in a bit and get a paler purple colour. I do have my bigger brayer there, but I'm just being quick and messy today. I'm just using a small one. Another pretty book page. I just put fingerprints all over. Be prepared. Be prepared to be messy. Now, toilet roll. Put circles. Just rub it around a little bit. Put it on gently. Make a pattern however you want. That paint's drying really fast. And that's the cheap paint, which is usually more watered down than full body paint. It's just drying so fast. Makes it hard to get a good pattern in there. So I'm going to put some pink on as well over the top. Just add a bit more colour in there. You can just put it on in little bits like that. See how we go. Put a piece of paper down. Now there is all sorts of ways of doing this. You can wait for it to totally dry before you pull it up. Then you will get more paint up on your paper. We're just messing around today, so I'm just playing. And this, to me, is not the prettiest of images. But if I then cut out butterflies or little stars or circles or whatever out of that, it's amazing how cute they look. Then you can use them in collage or whatever you want. Anything you want. Let's try and do a pale purple. Now this, I can do this forever. Let's see, can I see what? I don't know when my time is at. You can get lost and end up doing this for hours if you've got places to stick your finished prints to dry while you're working. What else do I have here? Okay, I've got a cookie cutter. This is a heart-shaped cookie cutter. It's just a cheap one from a cheap shop, so Doesn't cost much. I'm just going to put this in here, make some little heart prints. Now this one, this is my art stuff, so I'm not going to make cookies out of this in case there's paint left on it. Well, I don't bake very often anyway. There we go. Let's put a piece of paper over that. I'm just going to use my brayer to push that down in a bit more. I'm using my clean brayer. There we go. Some faint hearts in there. You can see it. Now that one's still pretty solid, so I'd probably go over that one. This is my pink one, the first one we did today. So there's still paint on there. That's still wet. So I'm just going to push this one down and use my brayer to push it in. Push it in really good. And look, you can paint the back at the same time. There you go. So now I have purple hearts on top of the pink layered background. And when they're dry, they'll probably actually look quite cool. Quite like that. You can end up making so many prints. So many prints. Let's do another layered one. Pink, white, and blue. Go blue. You don't need much paint on your plate. Like I said, you only need a thin layer and it spreads really easily. Well, the thinner paint does. The thick paint, it's not going to spread as well. Use quite a light touch. See, if I go heavy, I get what you call tram lines. And that blue likes to be heavy, like tram lines. So just use your layer quite lightly, especially on the last pass, and I'll end up with blue everywhere. That's okay. I'm going to try this hexagon one again. I quite like that. I'm going to use the brayer. Push it in nice and tight. Pull that up. There we go, some nice hexagons. Nice hexagons. What do we got there? I'll often do a whole heap of sort of plain backgrounds and let that all dry and then come back and do another layer on top. In a contrasting colour so it stands out. There you go, look at that. See, that one's a cool one. One of those hexagons, pink, white and blue. My little circle that's like buried into my plate. Got to find spaces to put these now. I'm going to peel off this book page and then use a book page to print on. Quick and easy way to decorate your book pages. A bit of a purple theme at the moment. I'm trying to try and get a lilac. So I'll just put the two paints on together. Some people put the paints on something at the side and mix them up first, and some people put them on directly on the plates and mix them up. And excuse me, I keep getting my hand. I do it left-handed so my arm's not sitting in your face, but my left hand doesn't work as well as my right hand. And I probably didn't really need to cover the whole plate because my book page is only small, but that's okay. Let's do these hexagons again. I really like these hexagons. And I end up with a piece of cool plastic. I'll do it this way so it covers the whole page. Use my brayer. When you're finished with all this stuff, anything that you don't want paint left on, go and clean it up pretty quickly so it doesn't all dry on there, especially your brayers. Oops. Getting up this book page, which is quite thin. Not that easy. There we go. painted book page. Then you can do some more over the top later in white, and you'll get some beautiful patterns on there. So I'm going to do some white. Go both ways when you're trying to spread it over the whole plate. People that want perfect jelly prints are going to go, oh my gosh, what is she doing? You know what I'm doing? I'm having fun. That's what you do. That's what crafting is to me, having fun. So as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. We don't need perfection. So we get 2 prints now. Put the stars in there. A piece of paper. Sprayer over the top. Push it down nicely. Peel this one off. And you see some of the bubble wrap texture, some stars. How cute is that? Then we pull up our stars. We have some nice printed stars. Oh, I love that one. Look at that. See, when you be messy and just go for it, you can come out with some gorgeous stuff. I was watching Sasibo. I'm not actually sure how to pronounce her channel name, so sorry if I've got it wrong. And I can't catch her first name, so I'm not sure how to pronounce that either. I want to send her a message one day and ask her. I was watching her this morning. She does amazing painting stuff. And she was using some denim jeans to get some gorgeous prints. Now, these stars are gorgeous to use in a design of your own. My fingers are getting really gloopy. So I'm going to peel these off. Then I'm just going to put some, I might try and make a pale pink over the top. And then I might leave it there for today. Tell me if you want to see more jelly printing. And honestly, if you have one and you're worried about getting started, just do it. Just do it. It's so fun. I don't like wearing gloves because you can't feel stuff properly. So I tend to get messy. My age, I figure I'm dying of something anyway, so it's not going to matter too much. But if you're worried about the paint affecting you, then by all means, wear gloves. I like feeling the texture. There we go. I'm just going to leave that quite messy. I'm going to use, what am I going to use? Let's see. I'm going to use this one we did earlier, which was when I pulled some of the paint off on top of the netting. So I'm going to use that because I want to put another layer on there. Fill it up. There we go. Doesn't look like much, but when you add that into your journals or whatever with some other designs on top, it's perfect. It's just perfect. So if you want to clean off your plate, let that fully dry and then put a thin layer of paint over the top and pull that off, and that should get all that off. Like I said, jelly printing is it's addictive. It's very addictive. So I will probably I'm going to clean up and then I'll probably keep going, because once you get started, you don't want to stop. And I'm just going to put a couple of stars in this one. Again, cardboard stars, that's all they are. I'm losing my paper. buried under there somewhere. You can use leaves, you can use flowers, you can use anything that you're not going to eat off to make patterns on your plates. And a lot of these prints, I will cut them up. I use my punches or die cuts or whatever and cut them into shapes. Absolutely gorgeous butterflies. Pink and purple butterflies. Amazing. Amazing. And then I have all these beautiful painted stars. This is the best bit. Look at these stars. How gorgeous are they to use in your journals? I just love them. There we go. So I'm going to sign off now, clean up, and then I will show you the results when they're all dried at the end of the video. Okay? Catch you later. G'day, back again. Welcome to my messy desk. Oh well, I guess a lot of us crafters are always in the process of organising, and my organisation is work in progress still. Anyhow, I just came back with the dried jelly prints that we did. So here's some book pages. I'm just going to run through them. Like I said, they were nothing special. I was just showing you how to get started, and the best place to get started is to just jump in and do some, and don't worry about what it turns out like, because as you go you'll figure out what you like and what you don't like. And jelly printing is like a dip in a bucket. You get what you get. You can't always plan what you want. It's just the way it is, the nature of the beast. Art, love it anyway. But you can use these things for so many things. Make them into envelopes, cut them up, make them into pockets, use them as a background for a decoration on a page. So many different ways you can use them. Blues, purples and pink all work well together. I'm like, which way up? Well, it doesn't really matter which way up, because you can go whichever way up I like. This one's got good texture in it. That's from the bottom of the meat tray. Love those meat trays. I just got another meat tray the other day that's got a really awesome sort of, I don't know, sort of a weird, anyway, I'll have to do some of that one and show you. So you can see here, this is one of my jelly prints, and I've just cut shapes out of it. These ones are with die cuts, but you can use punches or you can draw your own shapes and cut them out. And these sort of jelly prints that are just fairly random, backgroundy type prints are really good for doing this sort of thing, and then using them in your embellishments, which I'll show you at the end. That's another one that I've cut shapes out of. That one's over some scrap paper that I had. The stars. That's not very usable as it is, although I could cut bits out of it, but I will print over that one again. I really like that one. I think that's cute and make a great envelope or a pocket. This one's pretty cool too, and because they're painted, they do like get that little bit of a sticky effect, but they're not really stuck. It's just a little bit clingy. That's some of that meat tray, different meat tray. You see the circles from the toilet roll in there. This is the hearts from the cookie cutter. They didn't come out, like the hearts aren't really clear. I think I would have to have the paint a little bit thicker and press a little bit more. But they're the things you learn as you go, and work out what you like and what you don't like. I'll do another video soon with using stencils, get a bit more defined prints, where these are more sort of background images. And you can actually reuse these and then do the jelly printing with stencils, or even just do ordinary stencils with some texture paste over the top. Whatever you like, they'll come up a treat, really. The stars, they really stand out. See, if you used one of these as a background one and got the star shape first and then did it again, then the stars will get coloured in. Or you can leave them white if you like. They stand out nicely. Some pink. Again, the meat tray type print on the bottom. Love that. That's on music paper. On the back, that's the words of the song. That's the music paper. And another one. You don't need to see every single one step by step. I'll just quickly go through them. I see. I love this meat tray. It's awesome. And it's like round on this side, squares in the middle, and hexagons on this side. This one's just a rough one, bit of red through the middle, and that's a toilet roll over the top. That's that mesh. So like mesh from your onion bags or potato bags, or you get some vegetables come in mesh thingies. You can also use any sort of mesh. So if you've got bits of like window mesh hanging around, or what else is there, like a cotton mesh bag, all those sorts of things. It's amazing what you can use to print with when you start doing it. This one's a bit of brown, and I'm not sure if I did this on the video. I might have did this bit after the video stopped. And this is on some packaging. Great way to decorate your packaging, and then cut it up into tags or journal cards and just glue some plain paper on the back. Or you could even use this one as a cover. If I fold all that back, that's actually a nice journal cover. Add a few decorations on the front and look awesome. So that's pretty cool. So that's another book page, and these are the shapes I cut out. So you can see now the shapes. I'm going to put them on this brown because it'll stand out nicely. Let's use the paper one. So if I use these shapes now to decorate something, look how pretty they look. I think they look gorgeous. I really like any jelly prints that I don't want to use as an all-in-one, as like an envelope or anything like that. I just cut the shapes out, and you can get some beautiful little shapes. So just show you a few of these. This is done on a textured cardboard. Lots of stars. I already had the stars cut out, so these were actually put straight onto the jelly plate, and then I braided over the top of them, if you remember. Whereas these shapes here are cut out with a die cut with a Sizzix machine. But you got circle punches, you got punches, you can punch shapes out. You got die cuts, you can use those, or you can just trace any shape you've got. Like this is a stamp pad. If I trace around the edge of this stamp pad, let's just do that on here. I'll show you what I mean, because it's got a bit of a curve on it. If I just trace around here, then cut that shape out, that would be a great shape to put embellishments on, or to put a title on for your page, or all sorts of things. You just layer them up. So this is a die cut, which is obviously a lot smaller than that, but then I can layer them up and make an embellishment and add a title. These are all similar colors, so it's not going to stand out, but then you could add a title. You can do anything with them. So I love these shapes to use in embellishments and tags. Gives you a great background to start with, and you can leave it as it is, or you can put layers of decoration on top. Now, a lot of this printing I did on the copy paper, which honestly is not the best paper to use if you want to reuse, especially if you want to reuse shapes. And copy paper, because it's thinner, will sometimes, well, you saw a couple of them, they get stuck and start tearing. So you're better off using some cheap painting type paper, like Aldi have those pads. They're often really cheap. Things like that. Something a bit thicker. Yeah, scrap cardboard obviously is brilliant for it. But when you're starting out, like, look how thin this page is. As long as you put it down and take it off fairly quickly, it shouldn't stick and tear. And again, if it does, it's only paper. It doesn't really matter. Don't use anything important to start with. Just use your scraps and practice and play. Get lots of shapes. Love this little rose. Look really pretty on the brown. Probably look alright on the dark blue as well. There we go. give it a bit of contrast and it stands out. Cut a shape out around it and you've got an embellishment. How pretty is that? Or put it in the bottom corner and you've got a page to stick into a journal somewhere. Make an envelope, put the shape on the front. So simple, so easy, and it's a lot of fun. Absolutely love it. So thank you for watching. Let me know if you want to see some more jelly printing, and I will catch you next time. Bye.